Do, 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 do. All right. I'm now live. Should be up on Facebook. Okay. All right. Patty Fix is in there. Hi, Patty. How are you? Good to see you. Patty Fix says hi. All right. Here we go. I don't know where Tom is. I hope Tom gets in there. He says the caller ID isn't working. It should be. Do, 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 do. All right, here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey everybody, this is Stacy Carafotis of Lucky Dog Daycare and Boarding and Lucky Dog 2 Training and Enrichment Center. And you're listening to Garden City Community Chat with your hosts, Carrie and Mike, and of course, Tom with the weather. Enjoy the show.
Hello, you're listening to Garden City Community Chat, a show dedicated to promoting our community and yours, offering news you can use and much more. And now, Garden City Community Chat. Hey, thanks for joining us for another episode of GC Community Chat. Tonight, we welcome back our good friend, Lieutenant Steve Ray from the Garden City Fire Department. He'll be here right after the weather. Hopefully we can get Tom in here. He's having a hard time calling in, but we'll see what happens. And he's going to be here to share with us what changes have occurred within the fire department in regards to the COVID-19 and how it might affect residents and businesses. He will also be here to answer any concerns you may have as well. So stay tuned and have your questions ready. We thank you for joining us tonight and taking the time. Although I think a lot of you probably do have the time, seeing as we're all pretty much locked down because of this virus. It's a serious thing, that's for sure, and we're going to discuss that with Steve a little bit later in the show. Also, Joe Bartley is back with some more tax information for you, in which there are some changes there also. And as you can see, Mike is not here tonight, seeing as there are really no events to announce, with just about all of them being canceled. So I told Mike, enjoy the night off and we'll handle it without him. If any of you have an event that has been canceled, please type them in the comments section so we can get those out for you. Or if any events have been rescheduled and you have a rescheduled date, let us know as well. But hopefully we'll get Tom in here shortly. With the weather. If not, we'll probably go right to our guest, who is Steve Ray tonight from the Garden City Fire Department. So all this and much more is coming your way. So grab your favorite beverage, and we hope you'll join us for the next hour or so. You might notice I have the camera different, so you can see my mug tonight. I'm trying out a new software. I'm streaming live on Facebook with SteamYard, it's called, and it's pretty impressive so far. So I really like it. So we'll see how it goes. This is episode number 472. It's Thursday, March 19th, 2020. I am your host, Carrie, and also joining me tonight, our favorite chat weatherman. Well, nope, he isn't in there yet, so I can't say he's joining us tonight. So I guess he's having a hard time. He isn't happy. So we might not have the weather tonight, but I can tell you it's raining out. So it's duck weather for sure. Now, before we go any further, we always have to welcome and say hi to all our listeners, not only here in Garden City, but in Wayne, Westland, Dearborn Heights, Inkster, Livonia, Plymouth, Northville, Novi, Redford, Romulus, Taylor, and Canton. Thank you all for listening. It's a great feeling to have our show reach so many communities. We really appreciate your support. Please let us know where you're listening from. We'll be more than happy to mention your community as well. We're always looking to support and promote other communities when we can. And if you have any community events, send them to us. Send all the information to us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we'll get that on this show for you. We don't want to forget those of you that have downloaded the audio of tonight's show and are listening. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. Remember, this is Garden City's only live podcast where we share news you can use and promote our community and yours. If you have any questions or comments, once again, if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and type them in the comment section. And please remember there is a slight delay, or you can text your questions to 734-788-9319. To call into the show and join the conversation, feel free to call 605-562-0444, and the call ID is 82757, followed by the pound sign. All right. I do not see Tom in there, unfortunately, so we're going to probably pass on the weather tonight. So I think I'll cue up Joe Bartley. We'll get him in here. He's got some important tax information for you. And then we'll get to our guest, Lieutenant Steve Ray from the Garden City Fire Department. So stand by.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Tax Talk with Joe Bartley from J&J Taxes and More. Today, we're going to talk about some of the things that's going on in the world today as we know it. Now, the big news, of course, is that you are going to get an extra 90 days to pay your taxes this year, and that includes your penalty and interest. So they won't be actually due till mid-July. Now, they still want you to file by the April 15th deadline, but the 90 days extra is just to pay. And of course, if you have a refund, that money may come in handy right now. Now, during these uncertain times, there's going to be probably some temptation out there, some different things going on where there's a loss of income or no income at all. So you may be looking at collecting unemployment. Many people are going to collect it for the first time probably ever. Now, you want to remember unemployment is taxable. So you want to make sure to have taxes taken out, both federal and state. It will save you at tax time. Now, the other thing to remember, if you are tempted to dip into a 401k because you need the money, of course, you want to try to avoid that if you can. But if it's something you have to do, remember, if you're under 59 and a half, you are going to have to pay a 10% penalty on that money, as well as it will probably be taxable for you at tax time. So again, have taxes taken out, federal and state. It will save you. Okay. The other rumor that's going around is that there could be a stimulus check out there. Heard some different amounts. Now remember, if that stimulus check is sent to you, it will in all likelihood be taxable at tax time. So be prepared for that. So just remember to use caution during these times about any kind of financial decisions. What you do today could affect you at tax time, and you don't want to run into a problem down the road. So think of things carefully. If you want to talk, I'm always available to give some friendly advice. Not a financial expert. I'm a tax expert, and that's how I'm looking at it right now, to save you money that's going to help you at tax time. So you can contact me anytime. Shoot me an email. It's joe@jandjtaxesandmore.com. You can call me the office at 734-523-8291. You can like my Facebook page, where I try to keep people up to date on what's going on, and send me a private message through there, and I can try to help you the best I can. Now, on a side note, during these times, we want to make sure that we're supporting our small businesses, especially the ones in our area here. The big corporations, they're going to be fine. They got the money to last. But the smaller places, the mom and pops, the small businesses, they are suffering a big loss in revenue. We want to try to help them out all we can. Just in this area, I know off the top of my head, Garden City Cafe, as well as Sports Venue, they're both opening for carryouts and offering delivery service. And they do a great job. They do a lot for the community. So let's get behind them and support them too. So again, thank you very much. This is Joe Bartley from J&J Taxes and More. I'm located at 29217 Ford Road in downtown Garden City. Call me with any questions, concern, or to make an appointment to get your taxes done. Thank you very much and have a good one.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Great information there. Really good information. Yeah, we definitely want to support our small businesses at this time. They're really, really hurting and struggling. So if you can support them anytime you can, most of the restaurants are open for carryouts and some of them have curb service. So we hope that you go in there and support them as much as you can. All our small businesses here in Garden City. Hey, guess what? Dr. Tom's there. How you doing, Tom?
Oh man, I'm doing well. It's just so much slowness.
Well, let me get you queued up.
Forever to get in.
We'll get you in here and get a weather report, and then we'll get to our guest. All right, here we go. Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away. Go ahead. What you got, man? Duck weather out there.
What? Yeah, what a time to be alive, eh?
Yeah.
So let's try to calm you all down with the weather. How about that?
Yeah.
So yeah, the last few evenings we've seen some steady rain moving through. The overall temperatures haven't been too cold, obviously. This kind of pattern is going to continue as we get throughout the rest of tonight. We're continuing to see the rain. We're going to see it for a little bit a while, and then we're going to see some breaks during the overnight hours. And during that break, we're actually going to see temperatures rise overnight. This is an unusual kind of setup with weather. It can happen, and it does happen from time to time. And this is one of their nights where the low temperature is actually going to happen, which had happened earlier today, and the high temperature is actually going to happen during the overnight hours. So we're going to see temperatures rising throughout the overnight hours into the 60s. So it's definitely going to be a warmer night out there with some on and off rain moving through. And some of that rain, just like the last few evenings, is going to be on the steady side. I don't expect any crazy weather, so that's the great news with that story. But it's definitely going to be milder and a little bit on and off heavier rain tonight. And as we get into tomorrow, this crazy roller coaster weather is definitely going to continue, and we're definitely going to see the finale of it as we go down. Temperatures during the morning hours are going to be in the probably the low to mid 60s. I mean, if you like warm weather, get out early and take a quick walk around the block because it's definitely going to be a warm morning out there. And the rain will be done. I don't think that we're going to see much rain throughout the day tomorrow. And as we get throughout the day, that front's going to move through, and those temperatures are going to drop. We'll see temperatures dropping throughout the day, and by the time we get into tomorrow night, temperatures will get back into the 40s. So a little bit of a drop throughout the day, and definitely going to be on the colder side as we get into Friday night. It's going to be crazy to think about how warm we're going to be tomorrow morning. I'm predicting a high of around 64. And then as we get into Friday night behind the system, I'm probably expecting a low of 24. So that is a fairly significant drop in temperatures as we get into Friday night out there. And as we get into the weekend, it's going to start drying out. It's definitely going to be a dry weekend out there. More sunshine, definitely it's going to be in store than it has been the last few days out there, but the kind of the bad news with it is going to kind of be on the cool side and chilly side behind the system. Both days are going to be right around 40 degrees for high temperatures. So the sunshine will definitely be out from time to time, but it's not going to really warm us up over the weekend. And as we get into next week, the first official week of spring, and we're going to finally get into springtime weather, kind of right on cue, if you will. As we get into next week, we're definitely going to see overall cooler week. I don't see temperatures really rising into comfortable levels yet, but we're definitely going to see some milder temperatures throughout the week. As we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I believe most of those days, especially most of those days, will be dry. And we're going to see a little bit of clouds developing each day, and then we'll see some sun at times. But those are going to be the dry days of the week. As we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, those temperatures as well are going to be right around 50 degrees. So that's going to be kind of the calling card during the early portion of the week. And then as we get into the latter portion of next week, we'll probably get into a little bit of rain again on Thursday and Friday, some on and off rain. And those temperatures as well are going to be a little bit warmer with that rain as well. We'll probably be into the mid to upper 50s. So nothing too crazy to write home about. I don't really see any wintry precipitation to deal with at all throughout the foreseeable future. So that's definitely a check in the good box there. And as we get into the rest of the month into early April, I do see that pattern kind of continuing where we see some rain moving through with those milder temperatures, and then a little bit of a cool down, and then the mild temperatures arriving. But I don't see any crashing temperatures with wintry precipitation. So that's definitely some good news, because we don't want spring snow, right, Terry?
Exactly.
We don't want that.
No.
Not.
It's
But
happened.
I definitely do see temperatures continuing to moderate as we get into the end of the month into early April, with highs into the 50s. And some days are going to get into the lower 60s, but the majority of the trend is for temperatures to stay kind of in the 50s as we get into the first official week of spring. And as we expand outward and talking about some other weather quickly, there isn't too much to go on. The bigger stories are the springtime now. Strong storms that are moving through the country. There's definitely moving through just south of us, all across the plains, in the high plains, and into the Ohio River Valley. They're definitely dealing with some stronger storms down there. Parts of the upper plains and into the western Rockies, they're dealing with a little bit of a snowstorm. So they can keep it over there. We definitely don't want it over here. They're definitely wanting spring to come, but some places don't, because that's their business out there. You can definitely be skiing out there, even well into the springtime months out there, which is pretty interesting to me to think about. But overall, our weather is going to stay a little bit on the rainy side, a little bit of a cool down as we get into tomorrow, and then kind of moderating temperatures as we get into next week. But if you want to keep tuned to all my local weather information, just go to my website, DopplerTomWeather.com.
All right. Sounds good. And I'm glad you got through. Wow. That was crazy, eh? I don't know what the problem was.
It was struggling.
Yeah.
It's probably because it's so busy,
Oh, I know. Yeah. They're thinking of even throttling back
That's the only thing I can
the
think of.
streaming data and all that. So boy, it's crazy. Everybody's home watching Netflix and stuff,
Doing the opposite.
All right. Thanks, bud. Hey, I want to recognize a few people that are in there tonight. We got Patty Fix. Hello, Patty. Kathy Ward. Thank you for watching. Erica Nicole. How are you, Erica, from Croupin, Spoopin, Scoopin? Mayor Randy Walker is in there. Hello, Mayor. Kim Cooper. Are you watching from Florida, Kim? I don't know if you're back yet or not, but thanks for joining us. Opal Loveland. She is in there from Prestige Eyewear. Appreciate you. Nora Fix. Also, Barb McConnell from Michigan Massage Professionals is in there. If you want a good massage, get a hold of her. Aaron Baker from Cornerstone Remax Real Estate. He also does some really good professional videos for all you businesses out there, free of charge. If you want to get a hold of Eric, I will have some information for you later on. Lisa Kuhn, good evening. How are you? Mrs. Chad is in there. Thank you. Yes, we do have to dress up this wall behind me. Get some more stuff up there. Denise Stabley, how are you? Thanks for joining us tonight. Let's see. Dawn Corey from Angels Above Baby Gowns. Appreciate you. She is social distancing. That's good. Good to know. All right. Just a quick reminder, our show streams live every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. So we hope you'll set aside some time to join us. And be sure to invite your friends to join in as well. Also, if you go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/GC Chat, be sure to follow us and you'll be reminded whenever our show is streaming live. And while you're there, go ahead and feel free to leave us a review. We would really appreciate it. Kind of like to know if we're doing things right or if we're not doing things right. So let us know. All right, let's introduce our guest for tonight. He has been a part of this show many times. I'm going to bring him up right now. Please welcome Lieutenant Steve Ray from the Garden City Fire Department. How you doing, Steve?
Great, Carrie. How you doing?
Awesome. Little
I
wet,
like
but
the new setup. It reminds me of the Brady Bunch. I feel like I should do one of these numbers to you. Look over at you.
yeah, exactly. Marcia. Hey, thanks for being here tonight. Really appreciate it.
I'm glad to be here.
So let's get right to it. These unprecedented times we are in right now, and it looks like it won't be over anytime soon. How has the fire department been affected, and how do those changes affect our community?
You know, the fire department has always been on the front line of emergencies like this. So, if you go back to September 11th, all the anthrax scares after that,
Yes.
We're set up for disasters. We're set up for emergencies. But this scale is larger than what we've seen in the past.
Mm-hmm.
The emergency services have always been concerned about pandemics. And every couple of years we have H1N1, swine flu, bird flu. So we've gone through a lot of them, but this one's really hitting close to home.
Right.
With the amount of people that are getting sick in our area.
Yeah.
So we're stepping up. We're training. We're keeping up on the changes because you and all your listeners know that this stuff is changing daily.
Oh, rapidly.
Yeah.
Well,
So a few of the things.
okay.
If you want to, I invite your listeners to check out our Facebook page,
Mm-hmm.
Garden City Fire Department MI. Carrie shared some of the information we've posted up there. My big love is sharing information that's not trying to scare people.
Right.
You and I have talked about even the weatherman are scaring people now.
Mm-hmm.
The snowstorm's going to affect 5 million people instead of saying it's going to snow in New York.
Right.
So, I want to get information out, like you say, news people can use, and let them know that your fire department's still here. We're still responding to emergencies. We just need to be a little smarter, and we're asking our healthcare professionals for their assistance and the general public for their assistance as well.
Mm-hmm.
When you call 911, we are still responding to emergencies. If you call 911 in Garden City, you will get a fire truck. You will get an ambulance.
Okay.
The dispatchers will likely spend a little more time on the phone with you, asking about if anybody else in the house was sick, if you're sick, what some of your symptoms are. Rest assured that while those dispatchers are talking to you, they are sending us out as well. So don't think that the dispatcher asking questions are going to delay treatment.
Right.
Likewise, when we respond, instead of the whole group coming in, you're likely just going to get one paramedic that comes in.
Mm-hmm. And you're dressed in protective stuff, mask, and
don't be offended or surprised if we show up with masks on.
mm-hmm.
Some cases will show up with goggles, gowns, and of course our always present gloves. All of these things are to protect you and the system. There are 23 members of the Garden City Fire Department. It doesn't take knocking out very many of them for the system to become even more strained than normal.
Right.
So we are working hard to stay in the game and protect ourselves and protect our citizens from being exposed to us as we go from call to call. So, the thing is, we'll still respond. our dispatchers will ask you questions. You'll probably see one medic, and don't be alarmed with our level of personal protection. You'll see a similar thing at the hospital. We do ask, though, that you save this for emergencies, and I think we have seen a slight downturn this week in our number of runs.
Oh, wow.
People are still going to have heart attacks. People are still going to have strokes. People are still going to need emergency services. But these days, if you can stay away from the hospital too, that's probably not a bad idea. Dawn said it right when she said social distancing.
Yes, exactly.
We're so used to living our lives surrounded by people that it's hard, and
It is.
me, I'm a handshaker and a hugger, and
Yep, that's us.
Have to pump the brakes to make sure that we're not breaking the social boundaries of this.
Right. Well, I saw you yesterday at the doctor's office. You were going in there and you had your mask on, and we kept our distance. So it's something you have. Now, what were you doing? You have to go to the doctor's offices and let them know what?
Well, what we were doing was talking about some of the recommended practices from the CDC.
Mm-hmm.
For example, people who use nebulized medications.
Yeah.
Those are the ones the little peace pipe looking things that they hook up to oxygen, and it vaporizes the medication. The problem with that is it vaporizes their exhalation too. So if they are infected with the COVID virus, it aerosolizes that and spreads it out. So that increases our risk of contracting something. So
wow. Yeah.
We're talking to the doctors, and a lot of those medications are given, prophylactically. You have a hard time breathing, let's give you a breathing treatment and see if it helps.
Sure.
Those are the things that we kind of have to back off on a little bit. And if you're having an asthma attack and a breathing treatment, we will gown up and give you a breathing treatment. But, if they don't tell us they're giving a breathing treatment and we walk into the room with less than the right amount of personal protective equipment on, we're exposed and, off for a few days while they test.
Right.
If they test positive, then we're off for 2 weeks. So,
yeah, 14 days, right?
Yep. So looking at this, we're gearing up and preparing for this to be our first steps into it.
Yeah.
Last week, it was a whole new world overnight. People were hoarding toilet paper, food.
I know it.
And, that pushed me to the fact that, if I don't step up and get some food for my family, it might not be there. And, it caused a stampede and a run on the stores that was really just, fear of the unknown. And we fully understand that. What we are looking to encourage with the fire department is being patient, being kind, being smart. Listen to the news, but don't let it scare you. Take care of your mental health too.
Yes.
I know.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm a news junkie. I love watching the news, and you watch it for hours on end, and by the time you're done, you're tense, you're stressed out.
Yeah, you're totally wasted. I know.
Shut the TV off every once in a while.
Get up, go out on the porch or walk around, do something.
Yeah. If Tom would do something better about the weather, we could all go outside.
Exactly. Yeah.
I played in personally for the weather in Garden City. So
at least it ain't snowing.
Yeah. So let me get Tom in here for a second. Tom, how will the weather affect the COVID-19? Any way, or?
I mean,
does warm weather help? Cold weather? What?
On it we're in unprecedented territory, like you said, Kerry.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really knows how the weather is going to affect us, to be perfectly honest. I like to be hopeful that it kind of acts like other infectious diseases where the warmer weather can kind of bring it back a little bit, but I can't give you an answer, to be perfectly honest. I don't
Yeah,
I don't think anybody really knows.
Right, I don't think so either.
The biggest problem I see right now that's weather related is it's driving everybody inside, and people are, trapped in houses and buildings and stuff together instead of having the windows open and being outside and being able to put a little more distance between yourself.
Yeah, pretty soon they're going to be at each other's throats,
Yeah.
You hit it on the head. You really have to be patient, that's for sure. And
and I am seeing, on the social media, people are trying to be kind. We've kind of gone through the several steps of grief where it's anger and fear and we fully understand all of those emotions, and we're not immune to them ourselves. Our rescuers, we are supporting our guys at the station because they've got families at home. They've got people that they're expecting to that they have to take care of as well. So, I have to be concerned about bringing that back to my family. And, my mother's older and has health problems. I pretty much told her I'd see her in August.
Yeah. And now they're even saying the younger generation, the 30-year-olds, the 20, 30 and 40-year-olds are starting to come down with this now. So
yeah.
Yeah,
and when it started, there was the biggest concern for 65 and older.
Right.
But the younger groups are getting it, are getting exposed and coming down with it. The hardest thing is telling the younger age group to stop seeing their friends. Even my daughter, who is incredibly smart, was trying to set up a party with her friends that were back from school, and it's like, no, pump the brakes. We got something going on here.
FaceTime.
So, so it's the same thing as talking to anybody. It's trying to educate them without scaring them.
What's that, Tom?
I said, as a student-ish kind of point of view, it is hard to be kind of distant from your friends because you rely on them on a daily basis in a school setting. But now that you don't have that, it's hard because now that I'm at U of M, that whole program's now shut down, and I'm at remote learning. So I'm having virtual lectures, and it's just not the same, So you kind of cheat a little bit and try to get around, but we do need to calm that down. I do agree with that because I saw something on the news about these spring breakers just going crazy on the Florida coast. And you really shouldn't be doing that.
That was really, really
that's
upsetting.
just my point of view on it.
That was really upsetting to see all the spring breakers there. And it looks like the mayor or the governor down there in Florida is making, taking profit over, the community's health. Instead of closing the beaches down, now he doesn't want to close them till Monday or something, I heard. What do you think of that, Steve?
I think it's important that, while it's hard having restaurants shut down, our recreation places shut down, shopping shut down, I think it's important. We have to isolate this a little bit. We have to slow down the spread.
Yeah.
The whole goal of the isolation was not as much to limit the number of people that got exposed, but to limit when they get exposed.
Right.
If all of us got exposed at the same time, it would destroy the healthcare system. It'd destroy your first responders. And we'd lose a lot of our ability to treat people and make it so much worse. So, University of Michigan put out a bell chart that says, right here is where the our ability to treat people is. If we just let it run rampant, it'd come up like this and go over the line, and we wouldn't be able to treat anybody.
Yeah,
but it'd be over in a shorter duration. This way, we're spreading it out a little longer, but we're hoping to have and keep all the equipment in place that we need to.
Right. We have a question from Julie on the screen there. Are you aware of any cases in Garden City yet?
We have not heard of any cases testing positive in Garden City Hospital. or anybody from Garden City.
Now, Steve, if anyone has the symptoms, where can they go to get tested? That seems to be a real issue.
Yep, and that is a concern. What we are recommending is Beaumont Hospital has a phone number that you can call if you believe that you've been exposed.
Mm-hmm.
And I have it up on one of my pages here. So Beaumont's coronavirus hotline is 248-551-7000.
Okay.
And I'll put that in the comments here.
Yeah, stick that in there.
So it's 248-551-7000. We did call it from the fire station the other day, so we understand what they were asking for.
So they'll let you know the closest testing site then?
What they will do when you call that hotline is first they're going to give you a couple web pages.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm typing at the same time. They'll give you a couple of web pages for you to see what your symptoms are.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I posted today compared the symptoms of COVID versus the flu, a common cold, and seasonal allergies.
Okay.
What we're looking for the COVID-19 is a usually dry cough and a fever. Sometimes you can have a sore throat, feeling tired, headaches, body aches, and in rare cases, stomach issues.
Okay.
But yeah, these, if you want to go on and share that on your page, it came from the Oakland County Health Department. Fortunately, we're looking across borders and sharing information and things like that. So, the Oakland County Health shared this afternoon, and it's just a comparison of, for example, you usually don't have sneezing and rarely have a runny nose with COVID.
Yeah.
So ways to tell if you have other concerns beside COVID. So the first thing that 800 number, I'm sorry, that 248-551-7000 number is going to do is refer you to their website where you can check your symptoms.
Okay.
If you decide that your symptoms warrant further investigation, then you can call back and get through the prompts to a nurse that's there monitoring the phone lines.
Okay.
And they can tell you their recommendations from there.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, there is no treatment for it. So even if you test positive for it, a lot of people are just getting sent home. The concerns are it causing respiratory issues that lead to respiratory distress and, further respiratory issues.
Right.
It is a pneumonia-like virus. And we know pneumonia itself is a killer.
Yeah, people that are really compromised now health-wise are really the most at risk. That's for sure.
Yep. People with diabetes, uncontrolled diabetes, health problems, cancers, immunodeficiency, hypertension. All of those cause strain on the body, and it's made worse with exposure to the virus.
Yeah, unfortunately, I check a lot of those boxes, and so does Cheryl after blowing, PEs. So it's kind of tough. We have to really watch ourselves. Our own sons, haven't even come over to visit. So,
yep, and that's why I wasn't coming in studio today either.
I hear you, but it's working out great.
So yeah, and this is what we're talking about. We want to get through the importance of this and the importance of knowing the symptoms, knowing, when to stay away from people, when to take the the isolation and the quarantines.
Right.
And if you're not sure, then Beaumont is an excellent resource that way.
Right.
Um,
A lot of
but-
it's such common sense, though, really.
yeah, and it's education without fear. It's
Right.
paying attention to what's going on to your surroundings. Truth be told, should we have food on hand for a couple of weeks? Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Should we have respiratory protection in our house? Yes, we should.
Mm-hmm.
We just haven't had anything hit close enough to home to scare us like this did.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah, I see a lot of the grocery stores and stores are even having special hours just for the seniors to go in, which is kind of cool, which is very thoughtful,
yeah, and I think we're at that point now where we're over the initial fear.
Yeah.
But we're not over the pandemic issues yet.
Yeah.
So we need to find a way to get through this together.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's it. We're all in it together.
People who are fighting in the grocery stores, it's, and I go to the grocery store, I know I'm going to have to be patient and take my time. There may be long lines. I may have to eat Progresso soup instead of Campbell's. And, it's, and by the way, that is not a plug for any specific soup manufacturer.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it's at the same time, is it going to hurt you to let somebody who's elderly go in front of you so they can get out of the store quicker?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to being kind human beings and work through this together.
Yep.
Along those lines, I do have a message from the fire chief.
Okay.
Chief Harmon couldn't be on tonight, but I asked her if there was anything in particular she wanted to say, and her message was encourage listeners to try and be patient, kind, shop local for meals, our auto store repair facilities. Stay calm. Know that your fire department's here for you, and we will get through this together. So,
yes.
And I think that sums up things very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another good thing is check on your elderly neighbors, see how they're doing, if you're going to the store, see if they need a couple things and pick it up for them. It wouldn't hurt.
And try to a personal story. I went out to McDonald's on St. Patrick's Day for a Shamrock Shake. I have to have a Shamrock Shake at least once a year.
Okay.
And so we picked up one for my mom, and hey, Mom, we're going to drop off this ice cream for you.
Yeah.
Don't come to the door until we drop it off. And
that's
had my daughter run up there, and as soon as my daughter got on the porch, she pulled the door open and, hey, how you doing? And like, no, Mom, you can't be social right now.
I know.
Text me, and we'll chat with you that way.
It is so hard, not to be social, not to touch your face. They say don't touch your face. It's just such a habit,
Yep. So of course, those are, lead us into what we can do to keep from getting it.
Sure.
Washing the hands, using the hand sanitizer.
Very important.
If you don't have hand sanitizer, you can mix regular alcohol with aloe gel.
Yes.
And make your own.
Doesn't it have to be at least 60% alcohol?
Pardon? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Doesn't it have to be at least 60% alcohol?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, use that. Wash your hands. Soap and water goes a long way. I didn't realize until I started paying attention how much you touch your face when you're not supposed to.
Yeah. You were watching me and told me not to.
Yeah. I was sitting there watching you before you knew I was there, and quit touching your face, Carrie.
I know.
And it is, try to take that step back. Try to keep 6 people, 6 feet between you and another person.
Yes.
Our normal range is probably 2 to 3 feet is where we feel comfortable talking.
Mm-hmm.
So even the things around the department, we usually come in early and talk to each other and find out what's going on with the trucks. And now it's just give me a brief synopsis and go home.
Yeah. Yeah, and stay 6 feet.
Get out of here. Let's keep as few people around the station as possible.
Right. I understand you're not allowing visitors at the station at this time. Is that true?
That's true. It's for our protection and yours.
Sure. Makes sense.
It's the first sign I made up said, "Unless you have Girl Scout cookies at the bottom." The chief made me change that.
I love it.
So yeah, and that, your Garden City firefighters love going and talking to the kids in schools. We love having people at the station.
It's always been an open door policy over there.
Yep. And just to be smart, we can't have that right now.
Yep. Yep.
Hopefully, but at the same time, we want you to know that if something happens and you call us because you need us, we're still here for that. So
yeah. Now, how are you guys actually monitoring this? What do you listen to or watch? I mean, do you just watch the news like the rest of us, or do you have a special station that you have to tune into?
We like to get our information mostly from the CDC. We do get called in on conferences with the state and with the county about our preparations and making sure that we have the equipment and the ability to respond. So there's a lot of legwork goes on behind the scenes to make sure that we have the equipment and we're ready to go.
Right.
The information, like most news these days, you have to pay attention to your sources.
Yeah.
Social media news is not always verified.
No.
Some of your news stations, give things on a scarier slant. Some, federal based or political based could have the political slant to it. So for the most part, the CDC, the World Health Organization, have been giving us pretty straightforward information, numbers.
Yeah, you can pretty much go online and get that on their websites.
Yep.
Real time.
The latest numbers as far as worldwide is 237,000 people have been confirmed cases, with 9,000 deaths worldwide. In the United States, there's been 11,274 cases and just 153 deaths.
Wow.
The breakdown of it, I saw on the news earlier. Right now, we're at a 1.4% fatality rate with this. And South Korea, which is pretty much the gold standard, is taking care of this.
Yeah.
They're at 1.1. So we are doing good, and we're making good progress, and we're keeping people safe.
Yeah.
Everybody. As the stretches on, we need to make sure that we continue our vigilance and pay attention to this.
Yeah. Cheryl and I were talking today. Don't you find it odd that no news of Russia having this? Have you heard anything about Russia having this?
I have not. They are listed as a location that has been affected by it.
Okay.
But
I know getting news out of them is kind of tough, but
yeah,
China's just communist.
Getting news, getting numbers out of state-based media,
yes,
is not always easy. But
yeah, they don't talk about Russia much. That's for sure.
Yeah, and to piggyback on the tax talk earlier.
Yeah.
Support our businesses in town.
Absolutely. Can't say that enough.
We've had some businesses step up and feed us. Tony from Garden City Cafe. He is always great at making sure we're taken care of. Red Robin down Ford Road brought in a bunch of burgers for us yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So it's just things like that where, I guess my feeling is after September 11th, we banded together.
Yeah.
We determined that we had a common enemy, and we worked together to overcome this. And that's what I think we need to do right now is
And
you
we
know,
will.
make sure that you take an extra second, be kind. If you're sitting on a hoard of several hundred bottles of hand sanitizer, make sure your neighbors and loved ones
Right.
have it.
Share it.
Yep. So
So
we're doing our best to make sure that we have the supplies that we need, the respirators and things like that. And as of right now, we're good. But if this stretches on for months and months, we're gonna need to make sure that we get that supply chain
yeah. Well, I know it's
later.
tough to get a mask around here. That's for sure.
Yep.
I understand you wanted to talk about a little bit about some grants or grant.
Yep. We just this morning put in 2 grant requests through FEMA. They have assistance to firefighter grants that they put out every year.
Okay.
This year we asked for just over $1 million.
Yeah.
We asked for $850,000 for a new ladder truck.
Uh-huh.
Our current ladder truck is a 1996.
Yeah, you're due.
Yeah. Yeah, we take good care of our vehicles, and
Sure.
we get to retire after 25 years. It's only fair that our trucks get to as well.
Right. Yeah.
So
they came through?
no, we just entered them today.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The
best.
They will go to a review board down in Maryland, and they do several rounds of grants that will probably be later in the summer. So,
Okay.
if you have me call you up in the middle of the summer and say, "Hey, I've got some great news. I need to be on the show,"
Yes.
you know that some of our grants came through.
All right. Well, I'll be expecting that call.
So, yeah, the ladder truck was the big one. We also put in for new cots and a loading system for the ambulances.
Uh-huh.
Right now, our newest ambulance does have a power cot on it, and that saves a lot of lifting. We're doing this to protect our coworkers. Over the last few years, we've had several back injuries just from lifting and straining and carrying. So even if we can save a few lifts for our guys,
Yeah.
and save their backs, that's definitely going to be a help.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
And the other part of the equipment grant is a new diesel exhaust system inside of the fire station.
Oh, yeah. Boy, that one's loud as heck.
Yeah.
We're there.
It's loud. It's hard to, it's pneumatic, so it has to inflate a balloon around the exhaust pipe for it to work.
Uh-huh.
This new system will be, hooked up to the exhaust by magnets.
Uh-huh.
And, it does a better job at venting the diesel smoke out of there. So when we start up the trucks inside the station, we're not exposing ourselves to toxic chemicals as well.
Exactly. Matthew Corey says there have been 199 cases of coronavirus infections reported in Russia so far and 1 death. He found that on the web. That's interesting. That's quite low for a country that size, for sure.
Yeah, but you also have to look at population groups as well. So
yeah.
That's one of the things why it hit China so hard.
Yeah,
was the dense population.
Exactly. Mayor Pro Tem Kelly Kerwin says, "Thank you guys for your service. Stay healthy."
Thank you, Kelly. We're working really hard to stay healthy, and we're getting the support of the city and the support of the citizens and
the entire community.
Yep, and we're here. This is our job. This is what we do, and
yeah.
So yeah, we're excited to still be a part and work with the city to get us through this.
Yeah,
like you said, it keeps going back to just unprecedented times.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing a great job. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to share with us before we sign you off?
Nope.
Long day, I know.
Yeah, and you just a reminder that remind you that we are still here for you.
Yeah.
Be patient, be understanding when we show up, that we're using our personal protective equipment to protect you and to protect ourselves. And we'll change things the way we do it a little bit, but we're still giving you guys the best care possible.
Oh yeah.
The things that you can expect from the hospital, they're not allowing visitors in. So if we take one of your family members in there, we're having to explain to people that if you go up to the hospital, you're going to be stuck in the lobby, and
Yeah.
I can't guarantee everybody in the lobby is healthy. So
Yeah.
Send them with their cell phone and tell them to call you if there's any issues.
Yeah. Good information. Yeah.
We've always been good about allowing family to ride to the hospital with us in our trucks.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of backing down on that.
Yeah.
If it's somebody that has to be there, a mother of a small child, or somebody coming from a group home that needs their staff with them.
You just don't know,
Yeah.
Times have changed, that's for sure. We're living in different times right now.
Yeah.
Unmuted.
And
we have
to take it.
Unmuted.
We just have
Muted.
to
Unmuted.
make sure we do the right thing.
Yep. And just remember that, even though things are changing, we're trying to stay up on top of it. Educate yourself, but give yourself time to enjoy the nice things that are still around.
Mm-hmm.
It's spring. We're going to start going through the green season where everything's growing. And I think that's going to be the biggest change about turning around our mental health as far as that goes.
Right.
You can confine yourself. You can be social distance without locking yourself up and getting depressed about it. So,
yeah. All right. Well,
sounds
good.
Well, thank you for letting me come on and talk to you. And again, we invite you guys to follow our website, and we will share information with you and try not to use it to scare you at all. And stay informed, stay safe, and call us if you need us.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time tonight. I really appreciate it. I want to thank you and the entire department for all you do to ensure our safety and address our concerns. I've said it many times that our first responders and the fire and police are the best there is. So take care and be safe out there, okay?
I appreciate it, my friend.
All right. You keep in touch, and anything you want to get out there, just send it to me and we'll do it. Or we can do
I will do that.
All right. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
Take care. Night.
Yep, goodbye.
All right. Great information from Lieutenant Steve Ray from the Garden City Fire Department. All right. Once again, we want to thank Steve for coming on. I do have some information here that I do want to share with you. Kim Marquette, who is with the Straight Farmhouse, they came up with an idea. I guess they actually saw the idea in Livonia, and it's called a Garden City Silly Faces Scavenger Hunt. It's an interactive, non-social contact activity for kids to go around the community looking for silly faces, pictures that are going to be throughout the city, posted throughout Garden City. Now, tomorrow is the Silly Faces one. And then on March 23rd, you're going to be looking for animals. On March 26th, encouraging words. And then on March 29th, you're going to be looking for flowers. And then April 1st, you're going to be looking for jokes. So this is kind of something, for the kids to do while they're off school and locked up in the house. Get them outside, get some fresh air. Your parents can take them around and look for these things. I know we are going to have, Cheryl's going to hide some stuff, some silly faces here. So you may want to stop by and check those out. Also, I'm going to give you step-by-step directions for getting an absentee ballot application for the May 5th bond proposal. school bond proposal. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to call your local clerk's office and request an absentee ballot application. The application will be mailed to you. Complete the application and return it to your local clerk's office. Then the absentee ballot will be mailed to those who applied for them after March 21st. Complete your ballot and return it to your local clerk's office by mail or in person, and that's all there is to it. You can also complete an online absentee ballot application on the website at michigan.gov/vote. So make sure whatever you do, you get out and vote or get those ballots in. Also, I have some information, some city offices that are closed due to the COVID-19. City staff will continue to serve the public and conduct city business during normal business hours via phone, email, and online. The 21st District Court is also closed to the public. District Court payments can be made by phone by calling 734-793-1680 or by using the city's drop box. All Garden City council meetings, planning commission meetings, zoning board meetings, etc., are suspended until further notice. All parks and recreation programs are suspended indefinitely. Those needing the Maplewood Food Pantry may enter the Balmoral entrance of the Maplewood Community Center Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pre-made bags will be distributed from the information desk. Food pantry services are available to residents and those with children enrolled in Garden City Public Schools. Emergency food commodities will be distributed on Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., also to Garden City residents and those enrolled in the Garden City Public Schools. Now, this was just updated today. I heard on the news that Meals on Wheels for Wayne County will be suspended until March 24th. So if you know any elderly people that are getting Meals on Wheels, you might want to check on them and make sure they have enough food. Business with the building department will be conducted on a limited basis over the phone or by appointment. Outside and rough inspections will continue. All other inspections are suspended. Call the building department to see which services are being performed during the closure at 734-793-1650. The Department of Public Services building will be closed to the public, but will continue to accept deliveries from vendors. All appointments for water meter replacements or other non-essential in-home visits are suspended indefinitely. Water bills and other payments to the city can be handled online at gardencitymi.org or by phone at 844-392-3651 for a fee. For no fee, bills can be paid by check through the drop box on the north side of City Hall facing Block Street or by mail. No late fees or penalties will be assessed during the City Hall closing. Police and fire services will continue as normal, just like Steve said. The lobby at the police station will be open as normal. Trash pickup will not be interrupted. The city will continue to provide updates as they become available. We appreciate your patience during this unprecedented time. So very important information there, and we hope everybody has got that. All right, let's see. Steve says we are all committed to your health and safety. Stay safe, take care of yourself, be kind to each other, support your local businesses. Absolutely. All right. We want to remind all residents that the next city council budget meeting and council meeting will not be held. They're suspended indefinitely. I just read that. So make sure you mark your calendars. We got Joe in here. He had some great tax information. Remember, if you're interested in coming on the show as a guest, we'd love to have you. Maybe you know someone who might be interested. If so, it's very easy. Just send us an email at gccommunitychat@gmail.com. We will shoot you some available dates, and that's all there is to it. We can do video like Steve Ray did tonight, or call in during these trying times. Maybe you own a business or belong to an organization and would like to share your information with us and the surrounding communities. If so, contact us today. Like I said, email us or give us a call at 734-788-9319, and we'll get you scheduled. We look forward to hearing from you. And speaking of guests, please make a note as of now, next week, March 26th, we will still have Don Castelli from Century 21 Premier Castelli Real Estate as our guest. So please mark your calendars for that. And we hope you'll be able to join in that conversation. All right. Mike is not here. We have no events to give you. And with that said, I think we're ready to call this a podcast. Let me just check our comments here and see what else we got. Let's see. Steve Ray, when this is over, you're getting a huge hug, Cheryl Parton. Awesome. All right. Don Corey. So do we at Hubbard and Catherine? Okay, very good. I think that's for the silly faces. Kelly Kerwin, we have our silly faces up at Roslyn and Farmington. Opal, thank you. Great show. Great Garden City Fire Department. We appreciate it. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. We had a good crowd in there. It's very, very important that you take care of one another out there. Like Steve said, be patient. We want to thank Steve Ray from the Garden City Fire Department. He had some great information for us and how times have changed for everyone for now. Thanks to Mr. Joe Bartley from J&J Taxes and More, located at 29217 Ford Road in Garden City. If you'd like to get a hold of Joe for any tax questions, call him at 734-523-8291. He's always willing to help you out, that's for sure. Also, thanks to my co-host for tonight, Doppler Tom Iwinski. Did a fantastic job as always. I'm glad you were able to call in, that's for sure. And thanks to all of you for tuning in on Facebook, and also those of you that have had downloaded the audio and are listening. We really appreciate your support each and every week. Be sure to view this video and past videos at your convenience, especially if you tuned in late tonight. Just go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat. We hope you'll check them out and feel free to share with your friends. Just click on the videos tab on the left side of the page and you'll see all our past videos as well. A reminder, you can also download the audio from tonight's show by going to iHeartRadio. Just search for GC Community Chat with Carrie Parton. And we're also on TalkShoe.com, the Google Play Music app, and iTunes. And just search for GC Community Chat. So you can download our show, take it with you, listen in your car while you're working out at your favorite fitness center, if it's open, or wherever you may be. We have you covered. Once again, you can still go outside. You're not going to catch anything if you go outside, get some fresh air. If the rain stops, hopefully, we'll get some nice weather and we can all get outside and enjoy ourselves. Before I sign off, I just want to give a shout out to all of our first responders, police and fire, for all they do. Also, a huge thank you to all the medical personnel and caregivers, nurses and doctors. Remember, all these people are on the front lines for us. When you see any of those heroes, tell them thank you very much for all they do. Also, remember to be safe out there. Wash your hands frequently. Don't touch your face. Cough into your arm. And if you are sick, please, please stay home. Do not infect anyone else. Check on your neighbors, especially your elderly. If you are a young person, please practice social distancing. 6 feet away. Don't shake hands. Don't hug. Social distancing. We don't want to expose your parents or grandparents or anyone who has health issues, that's for sure. Be safe. We are all together in this, and by all means, take this very seriously. We can do this. Remember, we can do this. We're strong. All right. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community. So please support your local businesses. And if you see something, say something. Look out for one another out there. For all your weather information, be sure to head on over to doppertomsweather.com. He's got a great user-friendly website. We will see you back here next Thursday, March 26th, live at 8 p.m. with our guest, Don Castelli from Century 21 Castelli Real Estate. So until then, from all of us here, thanks for listening. And don't forget to support our local businesses out there. They're having very, very rough times. Our restaurants are offering carry out and curb service. They're still open. Check their hours. They may have adjusted their hours somewhat, but support them. You know, our hardware stores, all of them. They need you now more than ever. That's for sure. All right, you guys have a great night, and we will see you next week. Take care, everybody. Be safe. All right. Thank you, everybody. We had a great turnout in there, great show. Like I said, if you tuned in late, please check the video out on Facebook. It'll be up there shortly. Share it with your friends. We appreciate it. And if you want to give us a review, go ahead and give us a review on our page at facebook.com/GC chat. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next week. You guys take care, be safe, and have a good night. So long.